You know what it is. Let's get it. Ayy, locker room. Yeah, we in the locker room. Texas talk. Yeah, you know what we about to do. Localize every angle's what we really do. We the source, we the pulse of the city too. Landlocked, got the game in the headlock. Localize every time, can't stop, won't stop. Yeah, we top 2 and we not too. Plugged in daily digital on YouTube. We got taste for days, opinions to give, we got takeaways. If it's up, then it's up, we number 1. You don't need to try your luck. Locker room, yeah, we in the locker room. Texas talk, yeah, you know what we about to do. Localize every angle's what we really do.
All right, it is the locker room, number 1 source for Texans digital content. Cam Akers made a hell of a claim. How accurate was that claim? Was it a little bit too much? We've heard a lot of hype with the Texans, and now we have one of their most productive players, I guess we can say, in the preseason, and one of the most intriguing as the next week of practice begins. We have him making a very, very strong claim. He was with Aaron Wilson after the game. Let's hear what Cam Akers had to say when he visited with Aaron at the Hall of Fame game. Very, very interesting claim, to say the very least. Let's first hear from Cade Stover there. Here was what Cade Stover had to say after his performance.
Good to be in front of my family and stuff.
And get your hands on the football a little bit, some success, have that under your belt. How good does it feel just kind of have that first game, out of the way?
I mean, just like any other first game, just trying to get your feet wet, trying to figure things out. So good one to learn from, build off of.
And the way Davis played, looked like he was very efficient.
Yeah, no, all our quarterbacks are very good quarterbacks. I got a lot of trust in all those guys. Good to be in front of my family and stuff.
And
there you go. That's Cade Stover. He's feeling pretty good for sure. He's all business, and he is starving for contact. I've said that for a while. Let's hear from Cam Akers, though. Cam Akers was the one who had the quote of the post game. Here was Cam Akers with Aaron Wilson. Here's what he had to say coming off the game. And he uses 2 words that we know very well around here and they know around the NFL. Super team. Take it away.
you take us through your touchdown and just how good did it feel? It's your new team and you're in the end zone.
Case, he was telling through as far as the touchdown. Case was telling me all week be ready for the takedowns, and I told him I'd be reliable for him, and I was. And as far as being here on the team, I'm just grateful. Grateful for the opportunity to come out and show again who I am after 2 Achilles surgeries. Most people don't get the opportunity, so I'm just blessed.
What kept you going after 2? A lot of people, maybe some people will quit.
I would say knowing who I am. Knowing who I am, knowing what God's blessed me to do, and not selling. I don't want that to be my story. Injury and he didn't come out, and I want to come back and show who I am still. So I don't want that to be my story.
Even for a brief moment tonight, even though it's a preseason game,
yeah,
it was a step for you.
Absolutely.
Is it a reminder, even on that football field, you take a moment to say, man, I'm getting there?
Absolutely. I've been doing that since I've been training with these guys in training camp, reminding myself that you're still you still have the same abilities after 2 Achilles injuries. And tonight I think it showed. It came full circle. And I want to keep doing it. I don't want it to be a one-time thing. I want to keep doing it, keep working my way back, and keep making plays.
Cam, at one point I saw, I think it was a Stroud of Minneapolis, that you were close to maybe you were going to be a Viking. Some fans, I think, kind of took that inch and made it a mile. But why did you want to be a Texan?
Here we go. Money time.
I would say closer to home, closer to where I'm from, and the opportunity here is like no other. The team here is like no other. I would say it's a super team. Whenever I can work my way into that role. But it's a super team here, everything is already in place. We got the coaches, we got the players, we got the quarterback, receivers, defense. What don't you have here? Running back, we got Joe. So, everything's here.
There you go. Super team right there. You heard it from Cam Akers. The internet kind of ran with that. I know there's a lot of people skeptical about the Texans, don't want to buy in completely, and then there's others that are just all in. But Cam Akers says super team. The thing when you hear that, especially locally and around the NFL, you kind of roll your eyes because it's the Vince Young quote. When he was the backup quarterback, he went up and said that after the Eagles had that big offseason in which they snatched Nnamdi Asomugha away from the Texans. Ended up being one of the bigger blessings for the Texans. And then Vince went up there and said super team, and that team completely ended up flopping. This team's a little bit different. It's very young. The excitement, as much as the new guys have a lot of people excited, the excitement has as much to do with the young core. So I think you got to factor that in. Cam Akers, though, he's been around some really, really good teams. He's played in the Super Bowl before. So it is interesting when he says that. He also immediately says that, Joe's the running back. So kind of seems like he's just coming in here and he's just going to play his role and go about his business and see what happens. He says he has a new perspective on football. Let's hear from a guy that D'Amico Ryans brought up unsolicited, or when he was asked to name guys who stuck out in the game by Jonathan Alexander. Kenyon Green came up. Here was Kenyon Green, one of the guys who has the most to prove in this preseason. Guy who's been with the first team the entire time out there at practice. I've been to every single one. Here's Kenyon Green talking about how he felt he performed, courtesy of Aaron Wilson, KPRC 2.
Stuff we got to work on, so definitely it's going to be improvement and everything, so it's going to be good.
What do you think the way Davis ran things tonight when he was out there?
Did good. Commanding the huddle, made sure we got the plays, and made sure the ball was distributed out, and it was being a lead out there, so it was great.
For you personally, you can't do everything on one night, but you take it one week, one step at a time as to kind of get ready for the regular season. I feel like you took steps you wanted coming out of this first one.
Definitely for the first game.
He's focused.
Went well for me.
Can you specifically, now that you're healthy and in the condition that you're in, what was the difference you see now that's actually like full contact football?
It's no different from practice. We feel like a game. It's harder, at practice. The game makes it's so much easier, so much slow down. It feels great being out there.
Quick question on a kid growing up in the Houston area. If you talk about this big weekend for Andre. Growing up, I saw a lot of his games. What's it like for you as somebody who grew up watching him?
Extremely cool, extremely blessed. Be able to meet him when I got drafted. Building a relationship with him. It's great. Congrats to him and everything.
What do you like most about Andre's game when he was out there?
That's a dog. He does everything. He blocks, chase the ball, go attack the ball. He does everything all the things one up should do.
What do you think it's going to be like Saturday when it's lights are on, he's on that stage and representing Houston?
Definitely going to be a lecture. There's going to be a lot of fans out there, a lot of people supporting him.
And that's Kenyon Green, Aaron Wilson on the scene getting those interviews. So credit to Aaron and KPRC too. Also heard Randy McElvoy, who works there as well. The super team thing is interesting. It's hard for people to completely believe in hype. People are naturally skeptical. And quite frankly, in the NFL, a lot of times when teams come out of nowhere one year, they kind of fall off right after. So the hype thing is something that it's valid to be skeptical. I think there's healthy skepticism. But when I'm looking at this, I just look at this roster and I say, what's the worst that can really happen? And we're not going to predict injuries. I mean, this is the floor for this squad is through the roof. There's enough potential on both sides of the rock to where this can be an interesting team. I guess it's just got to be proven before. But the reality is also, we're not talking about the Baltimore Ravens. We're not talking about the Buffalo Bills. We're not talking about the Miami Dolphins. We're not talking about teams that have had enough time to at least prove that they were able to take that next step. Like everything that the Texans could control up to this point, I think they've surpassed significantly any expectations that have been there. Now, this year, there's real expectations like there's been before for Buffalo, like there's been before for the previously mentioned squads, Baltimore, and those teams have come up short, regardless of how high the bar was. Texans haven't done that yet. So we got to see how they handle it. We've never seen it. We got a 1-year body of work of CJ Stroud performing like one of the better quarterbacks in the league and leading this team to a playoff win. So it'll be interesting to see. The reality is, though, every opportunity that they've had and all the time they've had, I think they've done what they can do. But the skepticism is natural. It's just not based on anything that we've actually seen with this squad. Madden ratings. Interesting little note. After the Andre Johnson Hall of Fame induction, there was Madden ratings presented, and Joe Mixon's a 91 overall and CJ Stroud's an 81. I like Madden ratings. They generate discussion like this one. Seems a little bit backwards to me. A little bit backwards. I'd put Joe Mixon like 86, something like that, just based on what we've seen. But CJ Stroud, 81, worse than Kirk Cousins? It's a little rough. Got him talking, though. Andre Johnson officially in the Hall of Fame today. Good speech by him about what you'd expect. Straight to the point. No wasted time. Good for him. His college teammate, though, Devin Hester, my God, what a speech he made. When he went around talking about the family and stuff like that. I got to confess, man. Kind of got me, man. There was some onion cutting going on. Kind of got me, especially when he started with the stepdad, and then he just worked it all the way down. He had like a 2. I bet you Devin Hester writes good cards, man. I bet you he writes some good cards based on that. I thought it was really cool. But it was good to see Andre. Texans fans showed the hell out. They were loud as hell. They were rowdy. They seemed to have a pretty good time. So there was that. What's next for the Texans? Well, they got an off day on Sunday. Then they got to practice on Monday. I'll be at that practice. It's going to be in Ohio. Then they got to practice on Tuesday. I'll be at that practice. It's going to be Ohio. Wednesday practice. Thursday off day to travel to Pittsburgh. And then Friday we got a game. My gosh. Where is the time going? This one is going to be more interesting. We're going to see how they handle Cam Akers, how they handle the other guys. Do we see starters? Who knows? I know CJ Stroud's probably excited to see his best friend and one of his mentors in Justin Fields. It's going to be a fun time. This is a special Saturday edition. Normally we go a little bit longer. We got the live streams, but it's Saturday. This is a little bonus content. Tomorrow morning, be sure to be on the lookout. We're going to do our first highlight reaction. It's fun times. It's good times. Always remember, when it comes to this Texan stuff, we're all in it together. Have a good Saturday night. I might order a damn pizza. Bye-bye.
Source, we the pulse of the city too.